Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Thanksgiving break is over and I am back in my usual location, so get used to seeing this place again because this is where most of my videos are going to be. My Thanksgiving break is over. It went pretty well. Good times. Nice to see everyone again, but yeah, we're right back at it with another video right when I get back. Today's video is going to be about anti-Semitism and its historic roots and just a general discussion of anti-Semitism throughout history. So basically, anti-Semitism has been a huge part of Western history throughout most of it. A hatred of Jewish people has been very prominent. They've been scapegoated throughout most of history for a lot of different things. Like the Black Plague was something that they got scapegoated for whatever reason too. From my knowledge of world history, from what I remember from that class. And obviously you had the Holocaust, one obvious example of anti-Semitism. But why this hatred of Jewish people? Why has this been so prominent throughout Western history? I would argue that the prominent reason is the morality of Christianity and just generally this Western morality of altruism, where we don't respect this idea of acting in your own self-interest, acting rationally to pursue your own ends. Now, how does this apply to Jewish people? Well, historically, Christianity has banned usury for the people who practice Christianity. You're not allowed to, or historically, you weren't allowed to lend money. You weren't allowed to lend money and get interest back. This was something that was explicitly outlawed in the Bible and in a lot of Western nations during the Middle Ages didn't allow this practice either. So Christians, being the good Christians they are, did not participate in usury. However, Jewish people who were not Christians often would, because they became the bankers. Christians were not bankers because bankers participated in usury, or financiers, they participated in usury. Jewish people ultimately became the bankers, the financiers, and this led to them accumulating a lot of wealth because bankers and financiers and those type of people, they make a lot of money. And people, being as short-sighted and as concrete bound as they are, didn't recognize the value of banking and financiering, the value of investment, the value of them investing in new startup companies, and the value of investing in new innovations and loaning people money, how important that is and why they do deserve that kind of profit. But people didn't understand this, and they thought, oh, why are these people making money off of loaning people money? Why are these people making money? Is not a virtuous thing. Making money like this is especially immoral because, oh, you're taking advantage of these lower class people who can't afford to buy certain things, so you loan them money and then they can afford it, but then you charge them more later, so then they have to pay it back, and then they just get fucked over. So this hatred of self-interest in this sense, because that's what our hatred of bankers ultimately stems from. It's just a hatred of people acting for their own benefit. So that's generally why people don't like bankers, because bankers, they make money and they act entirely in their own interest by loaning out money and asking for interest in return. That's a purely self-interested action. And Jewish people were the only people who could do this back then, because of usury, because of the ban in the Bible on usury. So that self-interest of Jewish people led to a lot of the good Christian altruistic people of the West hating Jews because they were selfish and usurers and all of these negative things that are things that they viewed as negative. I would not agree with them on that. But so then they began to view Jewish people in a very, very negative light for acting in their self-interest. And then, since these Jewish people, usury is a very, well, banking and financiers, they tend to have a lot of influence, and they also tend to have a lot of wealth as well. A lot of wealth and influence. So people began to look at it and be like, what's up with all these Jews with all this wealth and influence? Oh shit. That's the Jewish question, guys. The JQ. But it's ultimately because of they became financiers and became wealthy because of that. And they gained influence because financiers, they often invest to start up companies. And so that if they're these investors, they have a lot more say in these companies than a lot of other people do, for good reason, because they took the risk investing in that company and putting their own capital on the line to create this new company. So there's very good reason for them to have this kind of influence. And ultimately, people did not like this. They were like, why the fuck, why are these fucking selfish bastards, these Jews who are so selfish, why do they get so much fucking power in society? Like, why is it all Jews? Why do Jews run everything? And it's simply because they acted in their self-interest, and they were the rational ones. They were the ones who didn't have the ban on usury, so they could actually act in their self-interest and accumulate wealth. And this is kind of carried on into modern times. I think Jewish people, to an extent, have been self-interested and been fairly rational compared to other people, and that's where their power comes from. That's where their power and influence comes from. There's no grand conspiracy of Jews who want to control the world. That's absurd. Like, I don't know. It seems the people who believe that, honestly, those are the fucking retards. But sorry, I shouldn't use that word. That's kind of fucked. But they're not very smart people. I don't know why people need to believe that there's some big Jewish conspiracy running the world. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And maybe I'm a fucking NPC. Oh, I'm a fucking, yeah. Oh my God. Y'all are stupid as fuck. Y'all just use those same buzzwords over and over then that you hear on 4chan or Reddit or on YouTube or from your big papa, your big daddy Nick Fuentes. Oh, just, yeah, no, it's just so stupid. Y'all are not free thinkers, y'all. Pick up some books, read a little bit, think for yourself. You don't need to follow this stupid shit you hear online all the time. But hey, y'all can do whatever you want to do. That's all I have to say for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.